What's popping? What's dropping? This your boy. Live and direct in full effect after 832. Y'all already know how Jimmy J Smooth do. I wanted to do a quick live stream real quick because Crawford, Bud Crawford, he has a lawsuit against Top Rank. Everybody knows my favorite malapropisms or malapropism, however you pronounce that motherfucker, is Top Stank. That's one of my favorite malapropisms of as promoters, Top Stank. The lawsuit accuses Top Rank of promoting white boxers and Latino boxers over black boxers. Let me tell you something right now. Anybody that has been listening to any of my live streams, any of my maybe 1200, 1500 live streams slash videos, I've been saying this for years. I've been saying this for decades, a damn near it's gonna be a two decades. I've been saying this for years. Anybody who's known me, who's talked boxing with me, I've been saying this for years. If you notice, historically speaking, on the exception of George Foreman, on the exception of the late Marvin Hagler, most of your black boxers, I say 99.9% of black boxers who fought with Top Rank throughout the entirety of their career. Not not fighting with Top Rank 5 to 10 years and then retiring. We're talking about boxers who have fought with Top Rank for the entirety of their careers, have went broke. And even some boxers that have temporarily went with Top Rank have even became broke. Most of them had bankruptcy issues. Shout out to Tommy Hearns. Shout out to Iran Barkley. Shout out to a host of other guys. The only reason why Marvin Hagler was able to retire with money was Sugar Ray Leonard gave him the lion's share of the profits. From what I understand, I think Marvin Hagler, I could be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong. I think Marvin Hagler was the first guy with a $20 million purse, not even including pay-per-view revenue off the top of my head. He gave him the lion's share of the profits just to take, what was a controversial decision. I felt like Sugar Ray Leonard won the fight, but if you feel like Marvin won the fight, that's your opinion. I'm not going to dispute you. But the only reason why Marvin Hagler retired wealthy was primarily was Sugar Ray Leonard took that fight, and he took the fight at when Marvin Hagler was clearly out of his prime. But on the exception of George Foreman and those two guys, most of those guys retired broke. This is an indisputable fact. You can look this up. And even some Latino boxers in themselves have retired broke for the most part. Quite a few of them have retired broke. But most of your black boxers, you can look you will if you look up every black boxer that then fought, hell, Donald Curry, from what I understand, if I'm not mistaken, I know Black Fight Fan TV is up in Dallas. If I'm not mistaken, Donald Curry filed for bankruptcy, and he was with Top Rank, from what I understand. Um, uh, Quite a few guys, but this is not even to be disputed. So with Crawford um, filing this lawsuit, first of all, I'm glad he filed a lawsuit against him because I think there's a lot of money he could have gotten had it in a lot of big fights he could have gotten had it not been for Bob Arum. So I think it's a long time overdue. Second, a host of boxing channels from top Evander Holyfield was with was with main events, Don King, he had a host of other promotional companies, but he wasn't with Top Rank. I can tell you that for an indisputable fact. But I'll say this about Evander Holyfield, and I'll get back on the subject at hand. Evander Holyfield self-destructed himself because you didn't got paid off of two Tyson fights. You got paid off of the George Foreman fight, Larry Holmes fight, Lennox Lewis fight. So there was no reason why Evander Holyfield should have been boxing until he was damn near 50 years old. Under no circumstances, So that was a matter of him having, but that was a self-destruction issue more than anything. So, but he definitely wasn't with Top Rank. He was with Main Events primarily. He was with Don King Promotions, and he had a couple of other promotional companies, but he had no reason to go broke at all. I'll tell you that right now. Because, like I say, those two Tyson fights, he should have been eating for the rest of his life. But that's a whole nother conversation. But most of your boxers that have fought with Top Rank, uh, they're they pretty much have been broke, have either went broke or had to file for bankruptcy at one point. And filing for bankruptcy don't necessarily mean you're broke. It just means, in a lot of cases, especially rich folks, bankruptcy, you're protecting assets per se. But I'm glad he filed the lawsuit. But this is an example of niggas, you need to listen. First of all, after Terence Crawford became the undisputed champion at 140 and became a champion at 147, he should have been got the fuck up out of Dodge. We've been telling him, a lot of members of damn near every member of the LDBC or former member of the LDBC have been telling Terence Crawford to get the fuck out of Dodge for the longest. I mean, have your pick. Even but still, Mike, Evander shouldn't have been broke. With all them 12 kids he had, he shouldn't have been broke. Let's be honest. Even with child support, I mean, he shouldn't have been broke, period. Because he's got a lot of pay-per-view revenue on top of big $20 million, $15 million purses. I mean, shit. He shouldn't have had that many kids, but at the same time, he shouldn't have went broke. I think what it was with Evander Holyfield was extravagant. Um, Tariq talked about this. A host of other people that knew Evander Holyfield, that verifiably connected with Evander Holyfield. Evander Holyfield was extravagant. Because of course the current house that Rick Ross live in, that's Evander Holyfield's former house. If I'm not mistaken, I think Evander sold that to Rick Ross. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, somebody had it after Evander Holyfield and before Rick Ross. I could be wrong about that, but we do know that's Rick Ross's house, current house, as we speak. But no, he shouldn't have been broke at all. But that definitely was not a promotional issue at all. But Tommy Hearns, on the other hand, there's no reason why he should be filing for bankruptcy. That looks very strange right there. Very strange. With all the money Tommy Hearns made Top Rank. Sugar Ray Leonard, because I know some people are going to say Sugar Ray Leonard was with Top Rank. That's not true. Sugar Ray Leonard had what you call it. Sugar Ray Leonard was self-promoted, believe it or not. He did business with Top Rank. He did co-promotional deals with Top Rank. Because Sugar Ray Leonard started his promotional company with a little under $30,000, and he basically cut a deal with Top Rank and Don King Promotions as well, and they did a lot of co-promotional deals, and he fought a lot of Top Rank fighters, but he wasn't really with Top Rank. So I want to clarify that before anybody comes on. Well, Sugar Ray, no, Sugar Ray Leonard was his own promoter, which is why he was the first boxer to make over $100 million. This is well before Tyson started making 400 million, 500, whatever, however the fuck he made. So I'm just clarifying that before anybody comes in here. No, Sugar Ray Leonard was his own promotional. You can go to YouTube. I think the fight versus Wilfredo Benitez kind of goes into that. on ABC, the ABC telecast on how he started his promotional company. You can YouTube that. But Terence Crawford should have been listening to some of the people on YouTube. Dante's Boxing Nation, Coach Sheldon Harrison. I mean, it's several people that warned him for years. He should have been left these people. And now the biggest fight in boxing right now is pretty much, or the biggest potential fight in boxing is Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford right now. And for some reason, Bob Arum can't get anybody from the PBC outside of the people that then got their ass beat, the members of the Putty Patrol, or members of the people that then got their ass whooped 1,000 times to fight Terence Crawford. Him beating um, Sean Porter, that's a good win. I mean, for him to stop him the way he stopped him, because a lot of people say, well, he laid down. No, Porter was gonna be out of there. I mean, let's just be honest. He was gonna get hurt, and I think Kenny Porter made the right decision by stopping that fight. But other than that, he's letting Errol Spence do the bulk of the work when he could have unified some other belts in this fight versus Errol Spence. The next fight could have been Errol Spence versus uh Terrence Crawford. And Errol Spence have already told him, I'm gonna unify all these belts because you my biggest challenge right there. He understands the biggest fight in boxing will be Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence, and to have that as an undisputed matchup, that's going to make it bigger, and that's going to make other fighters go for the gusto, because you can't dispute undisputed at all. You know what I'm saying? You can't really dispute a fighter once he gets that title undisputed. He holds that title for the rest of his life. So again, I'm not surprised at all, because we've been warning this dude for years. And this is an example of Negroes need to listen sometimes. You need to fucking listen, because there's always a clause in the contract. Floyd Mayweather took advantage of this. Several other fighters took advantage of this. There's always a clause in the contract to where you can buy out your contract at any given time. Sometimes your buyout clause is $300,000. Sometimes your buyout clause is $2 million. Sometimes your buyout clause is $10 million, because you might be the moneymaker in the buyout clause. So nonetheless, he should have took advantage of that, because he was already getting money from ESPN. So he stole the bag from ESPN. So there was no way Bob Arum was going to ever stop that bag. He was never going to stop that whatsoever. But I think he stayed with Top Rank maybe 2 to 3 years, a little bit too long. Now, again, I feel the same way he feels. And I feel this has been going on ever since Top Rank had been co-found. Basically, let's be honest. Let's be honest with this, and you can Wikipedia this yourself. In all honesty, Top Rank was really supposed to be Muhammad Ali's promotional company, because his manager, Herbert Muhammad, if you Wikipedia this, you will see Herbert Muhammad as one of the co-founders of Top Rank. But the reason why he was able to be the founder of Top Rank, Bob Arum is listed on there, but Bob Arum was, like, I want to say, Muhammad Ali's attorney in the early years, if I'm not mistaken, because Bob Arum field of study, Bob Arum is an attorney by trade who happened to got into boxing. But if I'm not mistaken, I think he was an attorney from Muhammad Ali. And then he ended up in the boxing trade. But we do know he's an attorney. That can't be disputed whatsoever. Because if you Wikipedia this right now, uh, the thing is going to say boxing promoter slash attorney. But for some legalities or whatever, he was able to take Top Rank from Herbert Muhammad, which was meant to be a promotional company for Muhammad Ali, which is why uh, Don King ultimately created his own promotional company. And to get on a whole nother subject, Don King at one point, when Bob Arum had a couple of heart attacks along the way, He actually had to run Top Rank Boxing. They were friends, believe it or not. Don King and Bob Arum was friends for a long time, up until I want to say the mid '80s, and then they became not only boxing rivals, they became bitter enemies. Go back to Marvin, the post, I want to say the post conference, the pre fight, something like that. Bob Arum and Don King on several occasions almost had fist fights against each other. This is well known. This is a well known fact. They can't stand each other's guts. You know. And, time from time to time they'll come together and get and make the biggest fight, but they do not like each other whatsoever. Because by the time I'll say about the late '70s, early '80s, Don King Promotion pretty much became the biggest promotional company in all of boxing. Yes, sir. I appreciate that, Steve. By the time the late '70s, early '80s came in, even though Top Rank had three of uh, the big four, Sugar Ray Leonard, Marvin Hagler, Roberto Duran, Thomas Hitman Hearns, it was pretty much it was pretty much um it was pretty much Don King Promotions that was really the top boxing was pretty much the top boxing promotional company, because Don King had all the top heavyweights. He had Larry Holmes, he had uh I want to say Tim Witherspoon. Ultimately he would end up having Mike Tyson. He had all the top heavyweights. So he took over all of boxing, and then he co-promoted Michael Spinks and his brother. Um, he had several. A lot of your undisputed champions, or what was classified as the undisputed champions before we had the three belt era, and even in the three belt era before we had the what is now called the four belt era. Now, most of your undisputed champions before the WBO came into play was made by Don King. As a matter of fact, Terence Crawford was the first undisputed champion in Top Rank since Marvin Hagler. Marvin Hagler was the last undisputed champion on the Top Rank stable. Everybody else was considered lineal champions and all this bullshit type championship. So really, um, he kind of gave Top Rank to a certain degree relevance again, because a lot of times Top Rank was known for having their fighters duck fighters and stuff like that. Floyd Mayweather during the Top Rank years got some of the worst, you got fanboy stick. He had a lot of fanboy stigma with Top Rank because they said Floyd Mayweather ducked a lot of people, but if you go back and do the film and the beautiful beating footage, that was not true. Now, maybe after he became Money Mayweather, you can make the case of that. But for the most part, uh, a lot of your undisputed champions came through Don King Promotions or Main Event Promotions, which Main Event at one point in time, they were the Don King promotions of the 1940s, 50s, and 60s. And they became the back, uh, the 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 pretty much the whipping boys up until the 1984 Olympics, and then they started getting guys like Pernell Whitaker and Evander Holyfield and Virgil Hill and all those other guys. They started getting most of the 1984 Olympic team, so that kind of revamped their promotional companies. But in the case of Top Rank, this is not a shocker, and I'm glad um, Terence Crawford is waking up, and I'm glad he didn't take several L's, controversial L's, because if you notice, a lot of your fucked up decisions come from Top Rank. And that's not to say the PBC or Matchroom Promotions, as I call them, crap room promotions, will come in. And, it's not to say they don't have controversial decisions, but like if you look at a Top Rank fights, most of your controversial decisions, a lot of that came from Top Rank. We knew Don King had a reputation of having bad decisions and stuff like that. And, and not only this, Top Rank is legally has been documented of fixing fights. By Bob Arum's admission. Bob Arum has a history of fixing fights. Look at the Axel Schultz fight versus um, George Foreman. And speaking of George Foreman, tap dancing, eyes bucking, sambo shuffling ass, he all of a sudden put on a cape for Bob Arum, and I'm like, dude, I don't know why you putting the cape on for Bob Arum, and dude, he robbed you of the fucking what's that fight? Shannon Briggs fight. A fight that George Foreman was clearly winning. He got robbed of that fight, but yet he can't put on the capes talking about, well, he ain't that motherfucker. Got to be he. I believe he's racist. I believe he has shown some bias over Terence Crawford, because there's no way this fight ain't bigger than what it is. And like I say, um, Crawford and Spence is the biggest fight in boxing, and I think this is true. And unfortunately, I don't think enough fighters have came forward about this situation. And even Terence Crawford had warned Shakur Stevens about Bob Arum. And my thing is, I don't know why any black boxer would go with Top Rank. Period. You got too many options. The PBC, Al Heyman is showing you that you don't need no promoter. You just need a manager. When you're first getting in boxing, you just need a manager. You don't really need a promoter. Um, you can set up a promotion at some of these rinky-dink arenas, 8,000, 5,000 arenas, seat arenas, and then upgrade to the 10,000, 20,000, 40,000. It's not hard to promote. If you're a boxer, you have a good amateur reputation, you don't need a promoter. You can promote your damn self. Devin Haney, I can't confirm this, but what I'm hearing is he will be fighting for the undisputed 135 belt. If he fights for that, I'm happy for him. Win, lose, or draw, I'm Devin Haney all day, but I think Devin Haney gonna beat that boy, probably stop him. Unlike Teofimo Lopez, aka Teofimo Lopez. But Devin Haney, who's only 22 years old, is showing you do not need a promoter at all. And he's gonna be fighting for, from what I understand, he's gonna be fighting for undisputed, but nothing is confirmed as well. But I don't know why these dudes keep on going to Top Rank. That made zero sense. I mean, that makes no sense at this point. I mean, why would you go to Top Rank? That's the stupidest shit you could do at this point. As a boxer, with all the money, like even Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder got his ass whooped two times against Tyson Fury, but he's $100 million more richer. God damn it! All the back end money, all the money he's getting, is gonna be his. Now Tyson Fury, he got the lion's share of the profit, but he got to pay two promoters. He got to pay Bob Arum. He's got to pay Steve Frank Warren. You know, he might get like 10% of the pay-per-view revenue, but on Deontay Wilder's end, his 40% is gonna be his 40%. After he get through paying promote his managers, his cutmans, his boxing trainers, his managers, all that other money is gonna be his. Sparring partners, after he get through paying everybody, shit, all that other money is gonna be his at the 40% that he's got. Tyson Fury's got to come, at best he's probably gonna get 10% of the pay-per-view revenue, and then he's got to split the other 50 or 40% between two promoters. You got to pay two promoters. What kind of shit is that? So, people talk shit all day about Deontay Wilder. First of all, you ain't finna get in the ring with Deontay Wilder. Second, Deontay Wilder is a rich man, and he's a future Hall of Famer. Fuck what anybody got to say. Exactly. I'll take that L. Shit. Yeah, I'll take that L. I'll take that loot. I'll take that loot. That's the L he got. I mean, he lost, but he got loot. I'll take the loot, man. Shit, hell yeah. That's a big ass L, big ass loot. So I mean, again, I don't see why people are even thinking about having a promoter at this point. Again, Al Heyman is giving people the blueprint, and people are still thinking, "Oh, I need a promoter." No, you don't, bro. No, you don't, bro. If you ain't getting 50% of the revenue from your fights, you don't need no damn promoter at this point. You can promote your damn self. If you got a good amateur background, if you done won over 200, 100, 150 amateur fights, dude, you can promote your goddamn self. That's not hard. Get on YouTube and get somebody to promote you. Deontay Wilder was promoted on YouTube. He was primarily promoted by people in the LDBC, promoted by Dante's Boxing Nation, Boxing Ego. I gotta give credit where credit is due. He was primarily promoted by YouTubers, and guess what? He took the loot. Yeah, he got his ass knocked out twice, but goddamn, he took the loot, nigga. Shit, shit. So I think people got to stop being hard headed because I do think Terence Crawford is going to win the lawsuit personally because there's just too many things there. Because Bob Arum would say little slick shit about Terence Crawford, talking about he doesn't promote, he doesn't sell, and all that. But I'm like, dude, you promote other fighters better than him, and really, Terence Crawford, in my opinion, is still pound for pound boxer, and it is the pound for pound king right now, in my opinion. You know, now I think Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford is going to prove who's pound for pound king, in my opinion. But I think he has a point there. It's just been too many historically historical janky shit that Bob Arum has done. He's basically took top rank from Herbert Muhammad and Muhammad Ali, basically, you know, and he's done all types of fuck shit. Fixed fights. I mean, look at all your and that's not to say no other promoter does anything fucked up, but he has a history of doing shit that's fucked up. There's just too much shit that he's done in the past to make me even think that this ain't true. I mean, I think this is 100% true. And the crazy thing is, historically speaking, most of his money came from black fighters. Most of his money came from guys like Tommy Hearns, guys like the Marvin Haglers. Um, most of his money came from guys like that. So I mean, Floyd Mayweather been trying to warn people for years, even though there are some questionable things that Floyd Mayweather has been saying, and he's has allowed tapping shit like that. But you know, the point is, Floyd Mayweather is damn near a billionaire on paper because he got away from Top Rank. Oscar De La Hoya got away from Top. Would have been a billionaire had he not had coke problems and all types of bullshit problems and racist problems he got, because that's another racist motherfucker in itself. He would have been a billionaire had he had kept his nose clean, per se, literally and figuratively. So I think he's got a point. I think Terence Crawford's got a point, but I'm like, you waited too long to really make your move. Now, hopefully, Errol Spence don't lose to this dude. Manny Pacquiao waited too long. I agree with that. He waited too long. He should have been left top ranked. But I'll say this: Manny Pacquiao has ownership in the PBC, and so does Floyd Mayweather. Yep, those guys have ownership in the PBC, so Manny Pacquiao will be all right. Plus, Manny Pacquiao got Manny Pacquiao Promotions, which he's always had a successful promotional company, but he was contractually obligated to Bob Arum Top Rank Promotions. He was contractually obligated, and Manny Pacquiao should have been left Top Rank because a lot of people don't know Manny Pacquiao owed the IRS in the Philippines. Well documented. So it's just too much shit that Bob Arum has done that that leads me to believe that this is true. It it leads me to believe this is true, and I'm saying leads me to believe for legal purposes, but I think that motherfucker's a racist. I agree with Terence Crawford, but Manny Pacquiao, Manny Pacquiao, good thing is Manny Pacquiao met Al Heyman, and Manny Pacquiao is finally retiring, which he should have been retired over 5 years ago. Should have retired after really the Tim Bradley fight. In all honesty, um, so it is what it is. But with the Manny Pacquiao situation, Terence Crawford should have fought Manny Pacquiao. I mean, he could have. He should have fought Manny. He should have fought Manny Pacquiao, but Bob Arum admitted that he blocked the fight because he did not want to see Manny Pacquiao get hurt by Terence Crawford. But still, it would have been a moneymaker, and he would have been able to pass the torch to um, Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford would have been the money guy in boxing right now instead of Canelo Alvarez, because right now Canelo Alvarez is pretty much the money guy in boxing at this point. You know, Mm, yes and no. I say yes because again, back to what I'm saying, Bob Arum blocked that fight as well as Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao blocked that fight. Uh, so the best chance for Manny Pacquiao to beat Floyd Mayweather is when he fought Juan Manuel Marquez. And what blocked the fight was Bob Arum, first of all. And second, Manny Pacquiao did not want to take Olympic style drug testing, which Floyd Mayweather is credited with the Olympic style drug testing, which you got USADA and VADA testing. That's Olympic style drug testing. And not only that once you sign up with those programs, you are subject to be drug tested randomly. Rather, you could be taking a vacation in um, Booty Island, and they will show up at your door and be like, "You got to take drug testing." So once you sign with those programs, that's how it is. And the same thing with Olympic style drug testing. As long as you're an amateur, you're subject to random style drug testing. So Manny Pacquiao did not want to do that. Now, when the fight finally happened, before VADA and USADA came into play, he actually agreed to the drug testing and took a smaller portion of the fight. Because he didn't want to, it would have been a 50-50 split early, but he didn't want to take the drug testing. And then not only this, um, Floyd Mayweather offered to do $40 million. So who's ducking who? He offered him $40 million. I mean, you can, he was gonna send him a check for $40 million. So yeah, yes and no. That's a yes and no answer. But either way, I think Floyd Mayweather would have kicked his ass either way, in my opinion. But his best chance would have been to get him when he was coming out of that 2 year layoff. That was his best chance to beat Floyd Mayweather. I will say that. But I don't think he would have ever beaten him in any point in his career because Manny Pacquiao just don't. He's not Floyd Mayweather. Let's just say it like that. So no, that's a yes or no answer. So, but I'm glad a lot of some of those people like Miguel Cotto and others was smart enough to like move on from top rank, you know, and We'll see how long this drags out. We'll see how long this drags out. But I think Terence Crawford got more than enough evidence to win this lawsuit. I think he does, and we'll see. Hopefully, this doesn't prevent him from fighting Crawford. I mean, fighting Errol Spence, which I think that's is as 50-50 of a fight you can have in boxing right about now. But that's why people fight too. So it is what it is, man. But I'm finna go and get up off here, man. This your boy live and direct at full effect at the 832. Y'all already know how I do. And I thank everybody that then came through and showing love and showing out. So peace out.